Yay. Estamos en una entrevista más para Mundo Indie y estoy platicando con miembros exclusivos de Culture Wars, Alex Dillon. Welcome to this virtual meeting in Mexico City. How are you?
Thank you.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. How you
Good. I
doing?
wish I wish I was in Mexico City.
Yeah.
I hope so. I really enjoy your music, so I am really begging for hear you alive.
Mhm.
Well, let's talk about a new single called Bittersweet. And I think it's really amazing to talk to you because I've listening in YouTube and I've been listening on Spotify and I even use Deezer and it's really I don't know how to describe it, but emotional and energetic at the same time. And I want to ask you, what is your feeling, or the first moment when you write it, like this, the starting point when you need to talk about these emotions?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean it's two part. I think it's a song that, I've always wanted to make because I love that like FIFA music. Um I used to play a lot of FIFA, so I love so kind of that kind of music always like 2000s rock thing was always been a,
Nice.
a thing for me. Um but yeah, in terms of the song and the emotion, that kind of stuff, I think it's been a very interesting year for me and and for the band and both personally and in business and things like that. And life is an interesting journey.
Yes.
It's not always what you think is going to happen. It's usually something in the middle, the good and the bad, and then somewhere right here is where real life happens. And I think just making peace with the lack of control that you have over the universe is healthy.
Definitely
Right.
healthy.
Okay. Even the title suggests a mix of feelings, right? And I've been hearing you, and I've been reading about that song of Rolling Stones. You can always get what you want,
Mhm.
but here in this bittersweet song from you, what was the sweetest and the most bitter point of creating this track?
Hmm.
Um, I think the sweetest was being able to have a song like this that we've
Yes.
wanted for a really long time. I think that's probably the sweetest of it. Maybe the bitter of it is well, I think we spent a lot of time trying to mix this song.
Okay. How much
And
time?
It was a couple weeks, but we had a couple different people try it, and inevitably our producer and guitar player is the one who mixed it. Um, and I think it's just we were figuring something out as a band, and I think we needed to go through that process to figure it out.
Hmm.
But we knew that we wanted a very specific sound. Each individual person wanted, a very specific thing for their instrument, and I think it's just hard to do that without someone who knows us very, very well and also can sit there and spend the time to craft each thing. So
Yeah.
I think it was a learning experience for us, and it certainly helped us into the rest of the album, which is kind of how we're going to do everything now moving forward. So it's always a growing experience.
There's a
Right.
little sweet part at the end of the bitter part was finding that I think maybe Caleb should be mixing these, and we just found that it sounded more like us. So it was kind of a happy accident.
Happy accident. I'm glad to hear that. It's even interesting to think about the sounds. I've been hearing your first EP, and I think it sounds kind of bit different, right? Even in 4 years ago, you sounded more like pop, and now you're more rock, and I think that's kind of finding your own way. So I've been thinking if your sound maybe blends indie or pop and electronic elements, where do you feel most authentic version of Culture Wars now, or since it was born in the garage or in the studio, on stage, maybe here talking to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Production wise, we've, like making the records, it feels more authentic with the album. Obviously, that's why
Yeah.
why we transitioned into that. But in terms of the kind of music, I mean, the reality is we're into all sorts of things. We're into all sorts of different kinds of music, and I think this album does that best because you have a
Mhm.
song like Miley that's like very different from everything else.
Yes.
Then you have Typical Ways. Those are two very different songs, and for us that's the band we want to be. We want to continue to just make the music that we want to hear and not necessarily care about any genre or anything. We're just doing what we want to do.
Yeah. And I think our sweet spot and maybe where we're most comfortable are the more guitar driven songs. I think now, just if you were to ask everyone in the band, I think the average would probably say like a couple of those It Hurts Slowly kind of tracks come really easy to us.
Yeah.
That's cool. I have to confess something to you, and I really think it's something interested because I don't know if it's trouble here only in Mexico, but we can talk to Alexa and just tell her, Alexa, play music from Culture Wars, and it sounds. But when I ask for Bittersweet, it begins to sound the birth right now. So I've been asking a lot with myself about those kinds of classic music hearing around the world who are the same homonymous name, right? So like, for example, Hello with Adele and Lionel Richie, right?
Mhm.
But they sound different and have different souls. So I think that's a happy problem too, because it's kind of way interesting when I hope this will happen soon. Someone is asking for Bittersweet from their birth, but they will find you in their playlist. So can you imagine those kind of moments? Can you imagine to be the classical theme for a next generation talking to, oh, this was an album and this was a single released in 2025 and now it's a classic. So what are your expectations just dreaming about?
Well, I never want to replace the Verve, but that's for
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I don't, that's he's the man. But I think for us, we try to reserve our expectations because, you don't really know what's going to happen. And, I think the fact that we're able to, play our own headlining shows and sell out all of our show. I mean, I think Dave would also agree as well, who's not here, that, that's all he ever wanted was to be able to sell tickets in a couple cities or whatever. So the
yes.
fact that we're doing it, I don't think that even he still believes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh but we have like big dreams and goals and things like that. But I think right now we're very grounded and we just want to accomplish what's in front of us.
Yeah. I
Um,
think, yeah, to like Alex's point, I think we learned early on not, it was always the ones we thought were gonna do the best. We found that it was something else did. So it's always a little different than how you expect it to go. And what I have to keep reminding myself is like, if I were to tell my younger self what I'm doing now, I am living the dream. So, you know,
Right.
that I appreciate all of that. With all of that being said, if Bittersweet became like one of those generational songs, I mean, that is like the pinnacle dream. So that would be amazing.
well,
But
good thing there's no songs called Typical Ways. So
Yeah,
competition.
you said you have sold out, and you're actually in tour. We are hoping to see you in Mexico City soon. But have you already had the chance to play Bittersweet live? How did it go?
Yeah, it was fun. I think we did it in New York and LA. We'll do it again next week in London.
Yeah.
It's I think the more we do it, the better we get at it, obviously. But New York, I think, felt the best,
Yeah.
which was cool.
Yeah. It's kind of a difficult song to play live, just the way it's produced. There's kind of some empty spots that we're, tightening up, but I think it sounds good. It's been fun to play.
Oh, I can't even imagine the vibe is staying up front of thousands and thousands of people. Um, just remembering what we're saying before, there's a wonderful quote from Guillermo del Toro, the Mexican director,
Mhm.
and he talks to the people in their 20s, calling them the most anxious and discouraged generation for not having achieved what they thought they should have. And I thought he was talking to me and all my generation 2 years ago. So forgetting and everything we're still doing ahead, he literally says it's going to be better. The best years of your life are still coming. And it reminds me a bit of what we talk about this single, because it's interesting and it's bittersweet to be confronting ourselves in the life. So one of our last questions, I always like to ask about the pretexto, the excuse that will make us to talk again in the future. But just this morning, I listened another new song.
Mm.
We were talking in the 20, no, in the 18th of November. So this morning I hear in the morning. So could you give us a little preview or what is coming next?
Yeah, I mean that's the last single we're gonna put out before the album. So early next year is going to be the full album and everything that comes with it, including more touring and stuff like that. So that's the last one of the year, and then we're on to the big boy stuff with the album. So we're excited, and it's been a long time coming, and here we go.
Yep. There'll obviously be new songs on the album, and we'll have a single that comes out with the album that we're really excited about, that we've also been playing live. So that one will be great. And we're excited to come to Mexico next year.
That will be amazing. We are hoping to see you. And well, how many pieces are left to release this puzzle called the next album of Culture Wars?
Hmm.
Uh, it's called If Not Now When.
Hmm?
How many are on there? I've lost track.
There'll be like 3 or 4 new ones on there.
Nice.
Three.
So it's 12, 13?
It'll be
Okay.
13. Or no, 12, sorry.
We're still
12.
Yeah.
piecing.
Yeah,
You're sound amazing. So I'm really glad to having you this time. I don't know if you have something else you want to say to the Mexican audience, expecting to hear you alive the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I just would warn everybody that all our shows have been selling out pretty quick, and
Yeah.
the best way to get tickets is to join our email list that's on our website, because that's how you'll get the pre-sale code before everybody else. Apparently, that's becoming now pretty helpful because the shows have been going like that. But we're excited to come to Mexico and see everybody soon.
yeah. Everything Alex said.
Awesome. Just a quick, fast question, just for you too, as personal. Have you ever been here in Mexico as tourists just hanging out, or it will be your first time playing and being here?
Well, we were just at the Pepsi Center with Wallows in last May,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then we came here. We came to Mexico in March previous with Keen, but and we've been coming to Mexico. The whole band has been coming to Mexico for fun our whole
Nice.
lives. So we just love any excuse to come hang out anyway. And I like hanging out in Mexico City. It's just fun and food's great and it's just chill. It's great. So I think, and Dill, you go to Mexico City a lot. So
Yeah. I think before the first time we played in Mexico City, I think I had been there 6 or 7 times already, just with like other friends, and I did like tour photography for a friend's band who had played there. So I've gotten to hang out in Mexico City a lot. And then, like Alex said, we're all from Texas, so we all grew up going to Mexico and
Yeah.
to some degree. So it'll be nice to come back and be playing our own shows though, and be able to see everybody that we saw last year.
You're welcome here always.
Okay.
So see you next year. Thank you guys for this few moments talking about your music.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Victor.
See you.